Welcome to No Rush Now. I'm Dee. This is a podcast for sleep, for rest, for those moments when you need the world to slow down just a little. Each episode is a gentle story, told slowly, with nowhere urgent to go and nothing dramatic to resolve. Just quiet moments from everyday life, here in Australia, woven with memories of India. As we move through each story together, you'll experience effortless mindfulness. If you find yourself noticing your own breath, or feeling your shoulders relax, or drifting into sleep halfway through, perfect. This is just a gentle place to land at the end of your day. So, find a comfortable position. Let yourself settle, and let's wind down together. There's no rush now. It's Saturday afternoon, and I've been putting this off for weeks. The garden shed. It needs organizing. I know this. Every time I go in there to grab a trowel or find the watering can, I see the chaos and think, later. But today feels like the day. The weather is perfect for it. Not too hot, not too cold. Just that gentle autumn warmth where the sun feels kind rather than aggressive. I listen for a moment, standing at the back door, and I notice the quiet. No cicadas. Their absence tells me the day isn't scorching, that it's mild enough to work outside without wilting. Good. A good day for this kind of work. I change into old clothes, a faded t-shirt, shorts with paint stains, clothes that don't matter. I walk barefoot across the back lawn, feeling the grass cool under my feet, slightly damp from last night. The shed is at the back corner of the garden, a small wooden structure that came with the house, weathered grey, door slightly crooked. I open the door and the smell hits me immediately. I pause, just breathing it in. That particular shed smell, earthy and musty, a mix of old soil, dried leaves, metal that's been sitting in one place too long, and something else, something almost sweet, like wood aging slowly in the dark. I close my eyes for just a moment, just noticing this smell. It's not unpleasant, just old. The smell of things undisturbed. I breathe in through my nose, slow and steady, filling my lungs with this dusty air. I breathe out, feeling my shoulders drop, settling into the task ahead. The shed is small, maybe 2 meters by 3, with one small window covered in cobwebs. The light coming through is dim and golden, full of dust motes floating. I can see them dancing in the shaft of light, thousands of tiny particles, just drifting. I stand in the doorway for a moment, just looking, taking it all in. There's so much here. Terracotta pots stacked haphazardly in one corner, some cracked, some whole. Garden tools leaning against the wall, spades and rakes and hand forks, their wooden handles smooth from years of use. Bags of potting mix, some opened. Soil spilling out, seed packets scattered on the small workbench, some from last year, some from years before. I decide to start with the pots. That feels manageable. I step inside, the floorboards creaking slightly under my weight, and kneel down beside the pile. The floor is dusty, and I can feel the grit under my knees, but I don't mind. I pick up the first pot, a medium-sized terracotta, and turn it over in my hands. It's cool to the touch, slightly rough. There's a white salt line around the rim where water has evaporated over and over. I run my finger along it, feeling the texture, the mineral buildup, rough like sand, but harder. The weight of the pot in my hands is satisfying, solid, real. I turn it slowly, examining every side. The way the clay is slightly darker on one side, probably from sitting against a damp wall. There's a small chip on the rim, maybe from being dropped once, years ago. I set it aside, in what will be the clean pile, and reach for the next one. This one has a crack running down one side. I trace the crack with my finger, wondering what happened. A frost maybe, or just age. Just things breaking down slowly over time. The crack is clean, a straight line, like the pot decided one day to split, just a little, just enough to let water seep through. I place it in the broken pile, though even broken pots have uses. Drainage in larger containers, covering holes in the bottom of other pots, nothing wasted. I move through the pots slowly, examining each one, making two piles, good pots, broken pots. There's something meditative about it. This sorting, this decision-making that requires no real thought, whole or broken, simple, binary, easy. I move on to the seed packets. They're scattered across the workbench. Some in torn envelopes, some loose. I gather them carefully, reading each one. Tomatoes. Roma. Planted 2 years ago. Basil. Sweet. From last spring. Marigolds. I don't remember buying these. I sort them by type. Vegetables. Herbs. Flowers. Most are expired, past their planting date, but I keep them anyway. You never know. Seeds can last longer than the packet says sometimes. As I organize them into an old biscuit tin I find on the shelf, I remember helping my grandmother sort seeds when I was small. She had a whole system, small cloth bags, each one labeled in her careful handwriting, both English and Hindi. She would let me help, counting out seeds, folding the packets just so. I can almost smell her garden. That mix of jasmine and curry leaves and the earthiness of freshly watered soil. Different plants, different climate, but the same feeling, this tending, this preparing. I move to the tools next. They're dusty, some with dried mud caked on the blades. I take them outside one by one, into the sunlight, and I clean them, not with water, just with my hands, brushing off the dirt, feeling the weight of each tool. The sunlight feels warm after the cool dimness of the shed. I blink, adjusting to the brightness. The grass is soft under my feet. I find a spot near the shed where the ground is flat, and I sit down cross-legged, tools beside me. The spade is heavy, solid wood and metal. I hold the handle, feeling where the wood is worn smooth, where countless hands, maybe not mine, have gripped it. I run my palm along it, noticing the grain, the slight roughness where the varnish has worn away. There's a particular spot, about halfway down, where the wood is almost silky, polished by use. I sweep the blade with my hand, dry dirt falling away in little clouds, and I can feel my breathing slow, matching the rhythm of the movement. Sweep, brush, wipe, sweep, brush, wipe. Simple, repetitive, calming. The metal is cool under my fingers, and I can see my reflection in it, distorted, wavering. As I clean, I notice the sounds around me. A wattlebird calling from somewhere. That harsh, gargling call. The rustle of leaves in the bottle brush. The distant hum of someone's lawnmower. A few streets over. Saturday afternoon sounds. I pause, just listening, my hands still on the trowel. The sounds layer together, creating a kind of rhythm. Bird, leaves, mower, repeat. I breathe in time with it. Not intentionally, just naturally. My body finding the pattern. When they're clean, or clean enough, I carry them back inside, into the shed's cool dimness again. I lean them back against the wall, but this time with intention. Tallest at the back, shortest at the front, all facing the same way. Order from chaos. I sweep the floor next. There's a broom in the corner, old and slightly bent, but it works. I take it in my hands, feeling the wooden handle, smooth in some places, rough in others. The bristles are worn, uneven, but still functional. I sweep slowly, mindfully, watching the dust and dried leaves gather into small piles. The sound of the bristles against wood is rhythmic, soothing. Swish, 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 like waves, almost like breathing. I notice my breathing again, how it's matched the sweeping. In on the pull back, out on the push forward, in, out. My body knows this rhythm even though my mind wasn't paying attention. I let myself settle into it, this synchronized movement, this meditation of sweeping. Small things appear as I sweep. A dried leaf, crisp and brown, a pebble, grey and smooth, a twist of wire, a button, blue, small, from what I can't imagine. I collect them in the dustpan along with the dirt, little artifacts of time. I work my way from the back of the shed to the front. Systematic, thorough. Under the workbench, behind the pots, into every corner. The cobwebs break apart as I sweep near them. Gossamer threads catching the light, then dissolving. I sweep the dirt into the dustpan, carefully, not rushing, and carry it outside to the compost. The compost bin is warm when I lift the lid. Decomposition happening slowly inside. Everything breaking down into something useful. I can smell it, earthy, rich, alive in a different way. I tip the dustpan, watching the dirt and leaves fall, adding to the cycle. I go back to the shed. It looks different now, clearer, more spacious somehow, even though it's the same size. The pots are stacked neatly by size. The tools are lined up. The seed packets are in their tin. The floor is swept. I pick up the pot with the ladybug, very carefully, and place it on the shelf, up high, where it won't be disturbed. She's still there, still tucked into her little groove, safe. I find a few small hooks on the wall and hang some hand tools, the trowel, the hand fork, the small pruning shears. They dangle there, within reach, ready. The bags of potting mix need attention. Some are torn, soil spilling out. I carefully roll down the tops, clipping them with old pegs I find in a jar. The jar itself is dusty, green glass, old. I wipe it clean with my hand, and I can see it's actually quite beautiful. I set it on the shelf for something. I'll figure it out later. I organize the remaining items. A ball of twine, a packet of plant labels, a small plastic bag of zip ties, all into an old ice cream container I find, everything in its place. I step back, surveying the work. The shed is done. Not perfect, but better, organized, peaceful even. The light from the window falls differently now, clearer, less obstructed. The space feels bigger somehow, though nothing has changed about the actual dimensions. I walk to the door, lean against the frame, just looking at what I've accomplished. The neat stacks of pots, the lined up tools, the swept floor, the organized seats. It's such a small space, this shed, but it feels complete now, ready. I breathe in again, that musty smell, but it seems less overwhelming now, more honest somehow. Just the smell of a garden shed, of earth and time and tools waiting to be used. Not good or bad, just what it is. I notice how my body feels. My knees are stiff from kneeling. I can feel that, a slight ache when I shift my weight. My back is tired, lower back especially, from bending. My hands are dry, dusty, fingernails outlined in dirt. But it's all good tired, satisfied tired, kind of tired that comes from using your body the way it's meant to be used. I stretch, just a little, reaching my arms up, feeling my spine lengthen, then release. I roll my shoulders back, feeling them crack slightly, releasing tension. I flex my fingers, watching the dried dirt in the creases, the lines of my palms visible in dust. I close my eyes, standing in the middle of this small space, feeling the cool air, the dusty floor under my bare feet, the satisfaction of work completed. My back is slightly tired, a good tired, from kneeling and bending and lifting. My hands are dusty, dirt under my fingernails, palms dry. I can smell the earth on my skin. I think about planting season, coming soon. These seeds waiting in their tin. These pots waiting to be filled. These tools waiting to dig and rake and tend. But that's for another day. Today was about this quiet work. This sorting and sweeping and creating order. This being present with each pot, each tool, each packet of seeds. This noticing the smell, the ladybug, the rhythm of my own breath. I step outside, back into the garden, and pull the shed door closed behind me. It doesn't quite shut properly. The wood is warped, but I push it until it catches. The garden looks peaceful in the afternoon light. The grass is still cool under my feet. A couple of sulfur-crested cockatoos are in the neighbor's tree, calling to each other. That screeching sound that's somehow both harsh and familiar. I walk back to the house, slowly, feeling the slight ache in my knees from kneeling, the tiredness in my shoulders. Good tiredness, earned tiredness. Inside, I wash my hands at the kitchen sink, watching the water turn cloudy with soil, feeling the grit wash away. The water is cool, almost cold, and it feels good against my warm skin. I scrub gently under my nails, between my fingers, across my palms. The soap smells like lemon, bright and clean. Such a contrast to the earthy smell still in my nose. I watch the water swirl down the drain, carrying the dirt with it. Darker at first, then lighter, then clear. I turn off the tap. Let my hands drip for a moment, then reach for the tea towel. I dry them slowly, feeling the roughness of the fabric, the way it catches on the still dry patches of skin. My hands feel different now, cleaner, but also older somehow, more used. I make a cup of tea, just the ritual of it, kettle boiling, that building rumble, then the click when it's done. Tea bag in the cup, watching it steep, the water darkening to amber. Milk added, just a splash, stirred with a spoon. The spoon makes a gentle clinking sound against the ceramic, a sound I've heard thousands of times, but today I really hear it. Clink, clink, clink. Then silence as I lift the spoon out, tap it gently on the rim, set it in the sink. I take the tea to the back door, lean against the frame, looking out at the garden, at the shed in the corner, tidy now, ready, at the cockatoos still calling, at the shadows getting longer as the afternoon moves toward evening. The light has that golden quality now, that late afternoon glow that makes everything look softer, kinder. The grass needs mowing. I can see that, but not today. The passion fruit vine on the fence is flowering, those intricate purple and white blooms, strange and beautiful. A small brown bird, a thornbill maybe, is fossicking in the garden bed, flipping leaves, searching for insects. I take a sip, feeling the warmth spread through me, tasting the familiar comfort of black tea and milk. Not too hot anymore, just right. I hold the cup in both hands, feeling the ceramic warm against my palms, and I breathe in the steam. That particular tea smell. Malty. Comforting. I think about the ladybug, still in her pot, sheltering. I'll check on her tomorrow, make sure she's okay. Maybe she'll have moved on by then, found somewhere better. Maybe she'll stay, making the shed her home. Either way is fine. Either way is perfect. I think too about my grandmother's garden, how she would spend whole afternoons just puttering, as she called it. Deadheading flowers, pulling weeds, moving pots from sun to shade. Never rushed, never stressed, just tending. I understand it now, that impulse to tend, to care for small growing things, to create order in a gentle way. Either way, the shed is ready, the pots are stacked, the tools are clean, the seeds are sorted, and I am here, tea in hand, looking at my small patch of garden, feeling the quiet satisfaction of a simple afternoon's work. There's no rush. There's no rush at all.